Welcome to Echoes of My Imagination. My name is Tracy Lee. Sit down, relax, and let me tell you a story. Today's story is called The Bloodbound Pact of Ashfern Hollow. Let's get into it. The land of Ashfern Hollow was not found on any map, not because it was hidden, but because it refused to be owned by human ink. It was a place of in-betweens, twilight-drenched groves where wind changed direction mid-sentence, and where mushrooms whispered riddles, and where time braided itself into loops too tangled for mortals to follow. Into this land, a girl named Bryn was born, not to a mother or father, but to the hollow itself. She was found wrapped in moss, sleeping in the crook of a hawthorn tree. The midwife who discovered her claimed her body was warm from the inside out, and her eyes opened not with confusion, but with ancient recognition. The villagers raised her at arm's length. Animals followed her. Milk soured around her when she cried. She sang to the wind, and it answered in rustle and hush. The elders whispered, "One foot in our world, 1 foot in theirs." When Bryn turned 12, she wandered beyond the last standing stone and into the deep fold, where humans did not go. She returned 3 nights later, older, and with black earth under her fingernails that would never wash out. From that day on, her eyes shimmered silver at dusk. The real Fae, not the winged cherubs of bedtime tales. The Fae of Ashfern were older than the moon's shadow. They were made of echo and thorn, bone and bloom. They belonged to courts, not kingdoms. The ember court of fire and passion, the mirthless court of ice and debt, the drowned court of memory and silence, and the verdant court of which Bryn became bound. The verdant were not gentle. Their vines coiled, their roots drank from more than rain. But they were just, and when Bryn made the pact, they took her blood and braided it with ivy. She became a green bond, one who lived on both sides of the veil. Bryn's power was not cast with wands or words. It was worked through ritual, offering, and the honoring of true names. She could call a stag to her hand by singing his grandmother's name into the moss. She brewed binding tea from marigold and fingernail. She carved truths into bark, and they bled. She could walk unseen, but not unnoticed. She could not lie, but could bind others in silence. Her magic was contractual, embodied, and always came with cost. Every favor owed the hollow something. Every spell she worked added a weight to her bones. She bore them gladly. Though Fey magic kept her body youthful, time pulled at her heart. She fell in love with a mortal apothecary named Aaron. He tried to follow her into the fold once. He returned, half mad, leaves growing from his back, his voice twisted into birdsong. Still, she loved him. For 50 years she brought him gifts, dreamless sleep, cures no herb could provide, the memory of his mother's last smile. And when he died, she sang his soul to the edge of the fold, where the drowned court took him gently. When the forest began to fade, when the iron tools encroached, and bells rang through sacred groves, Bryn knew her time in the human world was done. She returned to the fold and lay in a ring of ash and bramble. The verdant court gathered. They spoke no words, but they sang. And the hollow opened to take her back. Now, in certain woods, when twilight bleeds into moss and your compass spins, if you leave a thimble of honey, a thread of your name, and a drop of your blood beneath a hawthorn root, she may answer, not with a blessing, but with a bargain. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening to Echoes of My Imagination. I'm Tracy Lee. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share, and I'll catch you next time.